What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again, back in the building today, guys, with another one, man. We got to wrap up 2024, and it was only right that I brought out, at least from my perspective, the top 5 best new pistols of 2024. It's kind of hard for me to do one for the rifles, as I stated before, but for 2024, there were a lot of new pistols that had popped out that I wanted to at least bring out and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on where I think they stand. With that being said, and this list might not be for everybody. I fully respect it. If you're, if you don't like my opinions, I fully respect that as well. But I wanted to at least just give mine and go off of that. So without further ado, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Without further ado, man, let's go. Coming in at number 5, guys, we have the Daniel Defense H9. Now, the H9 launched at SHOT Show. I believe launched maybe a couple days before SHOT Show or at SHOT Show, and was a new product, a pistol that is from Daniel Defense. And of course, getting its, coming from the Hudson 9 of the past, Daniel Defense pretty much grabbed some of those particular rights or parts, but pretty much reconstructed a brand new firearm out of the gun itself. Now, when they initially launched, there were some people that had some issues, specifically with keyholing. Now, from my personal perspective, I did not have any of those issues. Now, with that said, some people may say, of course, you were sent, a product from Daniel Defense, they handpicked it. I understand where that could happen, but I did have a pre-production model. So I was doing a lot of the testing on this gun before it even officially released, but I still did not have any issues at that time. With that said, Daniel Defense pretty much put out a massive recall for everybody to send in their Daniel H9s to get them pretty much replaced for the updated version. And even myself was sent out the recent updated Daniel H9. So we have not even shot this one in particular, but we will, and we will be doing a follow-up video on that moving into 2025. With that said, I still put this as one of the top 5 guns out there. A whole new type of this overall look, a mixture of a striker fire with the 2011 or 1911. It's just a very, very unique gun. Very, very solid as far as comfortability, as far as how compact it is, as well as far as capacity goes. And as I stated, when it works, for people, because there's people that it worked for and there's people that it didn't work for. But when it works, it was a phenomenal firearm at the end of the day. And mine worked. I did still send it in because I'm like, why not get the updated version, the version that Daniel Defense wants you to actually have and own. So we will see in the future how this holds up. But looking at this one compared to the previous one, everything seems for the most part pretty much the same. I think it's a lot of the internals, of course, that they switched and moved around from the springs to make the gun perform better. Still, with that said, a brand new product, and even though it may look like a Hudson 9, it's a brand new firearm from Daniel Defense, reconstructed all the way through, and it's number 5 for me. Coming in at number 4, guys, we have the Canic TTI Combat, and this is a collaboration, of course, with Terran Tactical. You got the extended magazine on here. You got the ported barrel with the comp on the front. This gun, when we first got it, we did have some hiccups. I'm not gonna lie. We still haven't even finished up doing a full-on in-depth review on it, but we did take it out the last time at the range, and it performed phenomenally without any of those hiccups. So I don't know if it was a break-in period or not, but we did shoot it. I think we put at least like around a couple hundred through it, and that's when it stopped hanging up and having the failures to eject. I even think I was able to have my high grip on the firearm without it hanging up, but we will be doing a full-on in-depth review. Even though this gun has been out for a minute now, we will be doing a full-on in-depth review on this firearm because I like it, and it's even a potential gun that I wouldn't mind carrying as well. I just need to make sure that there won't be a hang-up, basically. Like I need to put this thing through the ringer because guns with comps sometimes have a little bit of issues. With that said, this is another gun that I think was like kind of presented at SHOT or a little bit after or a little bit before SHOT, but it's been out earlier this year was when it was first revealed, and a lot of people had their hands on it. It took me a little bit of time, but I finally got my hands on this bad boy, and it's definitely a very, very, very fun gun to shoot. So stay tuned on this. With that said, you know, Canic, they killed it with the TTI Combat, and I put it at number 4. Coming in at number 3, guys, we had reviewed a couple of double stack 1911s this year, but there was not that many new ones that dropped this year. Now, there was the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus, which we did shoot, and I did like a lot. I did like it, but I think personally, I prefer the Kimber a little bit more, and that's the Kimber 2011. This is fairly new. This recently released. It is, in my opinion, an affordable double stack 1911, and from a phenomenal company, being that of Kimber, and seeing them come out. And then also, as stated before, this is a double stack 1911 with a aluminum frame and full metal like grip and slide. You feel me? You don't really see that as much coming from the Staccatos. The only other company that gave us that so far, not even this year, because Jacob Gray came out in 2023, but the Jacob Gray is the other gun that features that, you know, steel frame, or that metal frame. And then of course you got your Atlases, but there's a whole bit, you know, different MSRP or bracket when it comes to that. Jacob Gray came out though in 2023. This came out in 2024. And I feel like as far as 2011s go, price, affordability, and what you get from this particular, and this even being the base model, this is not the top model, this is the base model. This is probably the best double stack 1911 that released this year. You know, it is, in my opinion, and I wanted to put a double stack 1911 on this list. And as stated before, there's not that many double stack 1911s. If any others, feel free to comment down below. I can't even think of double stack 1911s that released this year. Maybe the 2311, or no. The Gearson Witness, the Witness joint, but I think that might even release last year, like near the end, or maybe it did. Feel free, let me know. But when it comes to double stack 1911s, the Kimber is the only one I think that kind of released this year, brand new, 2024. Let me know though, feel free. Now, for an honorable mention, before we get into number 2 and 1, the honorable mention is the P365 Fuse. Still, the P365 is, I guess, you know, it's an old model, but we are going off the variants itself, and the Fuse was that different variant. It bridged the gap between a full-size P365. So, and it's still, in my opinion, something that you can conceal and wear on the inside very, very easily. But I do think that it was still a dope approach from SIG, showcasing the complexity of the P365, and this showing once again what that chassis system is all about from the P320s and the P365s, that it doesn't matter. You can go the distance with the grips or with the slides. All it matters is what that actual system that you're putting the chassis in. As long as it fits in there pretty much, and it's gonna work. And you got super micro compact P365s, and now you got the full size P365 with the Fuse. It's pretty much fusing together and built that bridge of everything. So from the P365 to the P320, you got so much in between that you can pretty much find the perfect match for yourself when it comes to SIG products. So that's my honorable mention. Now, coming in at number 2, if you guys haven't seen already, go look at my top guns as well, because some of these guns are on that list. But coming in at number 2, guys, we have to give it to the P320 SXG. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but go and check out that video, you know, and see for yourself where this ranks amongst that as one of my favorite guns or top guns that I enjoyed shooting this year. But when it comes to the P320, this is really, like, in my opinion, at the end. This is the biggest P320, the X5. You feel me? It's the X. This is bigger than the AXG Legion. Or it's pretty much the same thing as the X5 Legion. It is. I want to say this is the same exact thing. The main difference is, of course, is that this is a steel frame gun. So you got, as stated before, you got this way on that side, and you got the micro P365s way over here, and then the Fuse is kind of like somewhere like right in the middle, like the P365 Fuse is here, and then you got like the M18 or the P320 Compact or X-Carry, and then boom, you know, you got the bridge of everything. With that said, this is probably one of the best, if not the best, P320s or just SIG pistol shooting pistols. to this day. Now there is, of course, the sick target guns and all that I have not shot yet, so I gotta just be quiet. Even the P365 Legion that we have there as well, respect to that. That's in particular is the AX, not the AXG, the X5 Legion, the top dog. Phenomenal shooter that is, but this bad boy, you gotta just shoot it to see for yourself. It's a P320 that's pretty much turned in to a 2011. That's the best way to put it. And this one even has 20 rounds. Like competition, Max Michel ready, and it's definitely up there on the list. And then of course you got the Romeo 3 Max on the optic, which is another phenomenal SRO competition. You know, when it comes to trigger con, like it's up there with it in my humble opinion. As far as the window goes, it's bigger than the SRO, but I'm not here to bash TTI because they make phenomenal stuff as well. But this is at number 2, and by far one of my favorite guns that I have been able to give you guys content on and shoot, and I love it. I love it. However, it is not number 1 in my opinion as far as the top guns or top pistols, new pistols of this year. Number 1 is the Walther PDP Match Pro Steel Frame. Now, go and watch that video, or if you watch it, you're probably like, what the hell? But I think overall, if you put this gun in someone's hand compared to this gun, I think that people will probably like this one a little bit more. That's just my opinion, man. I love the P320. It's one of my favorite, but I feel like the Walther, it has the ergonomics. It has the better trigger. The ergonomics can be for whoever, but me personally, I love the grip overall on this gun. The grip overall feels fantastic. The trigger, the dynamic trigger that's been utilized is phenomenal. It's amazing. Steel framed, same, very similar to what you get here. The MSRP on both of these are damn near identical. They are very close hand in hand, but the trigger on this right here, in my opinion, supersedes the trigger, even though I'm not a fan of well, I'm not saying I'm not a fan, but the P320 triggers are not all that. They did something here special with this particular trigger here on this particular model, but every single dynamic trigger, even on my PDP Pro SD, has the same dynamic trigger. And I said it and I'll say it again, striker fired pistols, the Walther dynamic trigger is the best in the market, in my opinion. Phenomenal gun overall. One of my favorite guns in the collection, one of the most beautiful guns in the collection. And if it came down to it, competition wise, it's very, very tough, man. Very, very tough to go between the two, but I may lean into the Walther, even though, just go and check out the other video. But I may lean into the Walther because it just feels better. I might like something more, but something feels better. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. I love Kobe. Kobe is my GOAT. But deep, deep down, I gotta respect that Jordan did things that Kobe could not fully accomplish, the 6 rings. And it's an argument though. I can argue and say Kobe's the greatest of all time, and some people can argue that. But then there's certain things you cannot deny about Jordan's greatness. That's what's kind of going on here. I may like something a little bit more, but I gotta respect greatness when I see it. And some of y'all are probably watching and saying, neither one of them the best. LeBron's the GOAT, you know, but you get my point, right? So I think this is the best brand new gun of 2025, and that is the Walther PDP Match Frame, number 1. So yeah, guys, let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. As always, I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.